This is Digitalust magazine. Welcome everybody to our second DLM interview. Today we're talking with the hypersexual electro-rock band Cynergy 67. This talented act has landed a record deal with Sonic Angel. Sonic Angel was founded in January 2010 by veteran Belgian label owner and musician-producer Maurice England, aka Praga Khan of the group Lords of Acid. This up-and-coming group has shared the stage with such reputable acts as Orgy, Powerman 5000, Cell Dweller, Godhead, Dead Star Assembly, and Society 1. So let's get started. Welcome guys, and please introduce yourselves for us so our audience knows who you are and what you do in the band.
I'm Mundane, I play bass.
I'm VX, singing and keyboards.
I'm Evil One, I play guitar.
So tell me, how would you define hypersexual electro rock?
As a funny term we came up with to jokingly describe the perverted nature of a lot of our lyrics, and to give one of those special label, titles, sub labels, whatever. But it was basically just a joke, and it stuck, and people kept it, so it works.
What does 67 and Cynergy 67 stand for?
Absolutely nothing. It sounded good.
We hate people with lisps.
We just went for the old standard industrial name and number, and 67 flowed with it so well, we just said, yeah.
What is the date of the new album's release?
12 days past the day it's released.
When we finish it.
Yeah, the CD is currently in pre-production, demos, writing, recording, blah, blah, blah. We won't be able to set a release date until we know it's finished. We're hoping sometime around August this year, but you can check back to find out for sure.
Explain to us a little about this investment concept platform that your record label is hoping to get everyone to assimilate.
Sonic Angel, started by Praga Khan of the Lords of Acid, completely innovative company, and they came to us and asked if we'd like to sign on as their first US band to launch the label here. And after reading what they were all about, researching them, and knowing that it's time for a change in this industry that we've been looking for, we thought this could be it. By putting the fans first and letting them decide, what bands go by investing their own money into buying shares, they get to make the album come to life and make a profit as well if it does well. And by using the fan shares to raise the advance money, there's no money recoupable by the label, so the band doesn't go into debt right away, which is a fantastic idea versus the old format of 90-10 splits between labels and bands. So we'll see how this works. It seems like a pretty solid plan, and once Americans understand it, they may be a little more open to it. It seems that the European fans have opened up to it over there with the Belgium artists on the label, and we're just hoping that the Americans find it to be as great as they do.
With all the cookie-cutter electro-rock bands that are currently in the circuit, tell our listeners what makes your cookie stand out from the rest of the batch.
It's a little too pretentious to say that we're better than anyone or that we do it better than anyone. We're just us. We make the music we like. We took all the styles that we all love and we blended them together, and it just happened to come out to be some sexy beats and some headbanging stuff and a little bit of everything for everyone. We have the luxury of being able to play the dance clubs as well as the rock clubs, and we're not limited to where we can perform. I guess to really stand out, you would have to come out and see a show and come see that we don't stand and look at our feet all night.
What advice do you have for anyone wanting to start an electro rock band in this currently over-congested genre?
Practice. Playing an instrument is the biggest thing. Because Pro Tools, acid loops, those aren't instruments. It's fun to play with, but you need to actually play something.
Oversaturated world of homemade producers and record engineers, and people buying programs that tell them that make them think they're mastering engineers.
The tools only get you so far. You gotta know how to use them too.
Yeah, tools only as good as the person using it.
No easy button.
We don't we self-record as far as the tracking goes, but all our mixing and mastering is left in the hands of people who know what they're doing. Plus, you need that biased or unbiased ear that's trained to hear things. Most bands think they know what they want it to sound like, but they don't realize that they don't know shit.
Mixing itself is a whole different art form aside from playing an instrument, and so is producing, mastering, all those things that go into making music.
Just because you play Guitar Hero doesn't make you one.
How can fans get access to your music?
Any of the standard online sources like iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Napster. The best place to find all of our stuff, including the rare old stuff that we don't produce anymore, is Fixed. The Fixed label, Fixed Store, Fixt. It's fixedstore.com. You can get our DVDs and music there, as well as on our website, Cynergy67.com. And
come
Hot
out to our
Topic
shows.
stores. And yeah, come to a show. You get it for a better deal at our show.
How do you contract your hired musicians? For those musicians that might want to be part of Cynergy 67's live act, how do you hire musicians, and what kind of compensation or percentage do they have to look forward to while on tour with Cynergy 67?
Well, we've yet to actually hire a musician to go on tour. We've always, Cynergy has always been Evo and I from the beginning, but we always wanted the band feel, so we always had members who were bandmates, and we tried it that way. But for the last few years, we've just found people who wanted to play, and they've essentially come along. All of our money that we make as an independent band goes right back in to producing more merchandise, more music, more tours. And it's really expensive to keep on the road these days, especially with gas prices shooting up and up. So, we've considered hiring before, but we have not actually done it. But I suppose those things would be negotiable depending on the person and the situation.
Do you pay your hired tour musicians or dancers to rehearse? Or is there some sort of contractual agreement? If so, what kind of contractual agreement is that?
Again, we don't pay hired hands like that. Everyone that's a part of Cynergy is a part of Cynergy because they want to be, because they believe in what we're doing, and they want to be there to help us achieve. They know how hard it is, and a lot of our friends, fans, and people that work for the band are actually very generous in helping making these things happen. Like this guy, he's been an unpaid cocksucker for he joined the band, and he knows what it's like.
Labor of love.
Yeah, you're in it because you love it. I mean, we give people an opportunity that we think a lot wouldn't have. We've done a lot, and but we've busted our ass for it, so we expect the people that come on board to too. As I said, if it came to the point though where we wanted to hire someone, then we would figure out how to do it then.
We have read that you have plans for really cool stage props. Is there a machinist in the band, or is the record label designing these apparatuses?
I've done a lot of the designing of stage props and costumes over the years. For example, some of the stage props that we are going to be using in the near future, I've designed and welded up, and VX has a lot of ideas too with stage props. And we try to put our ideas together and see what we can come up with.
I've seen your dancers, and they are very attractive women. And the attire they wear on stage is rather revealing and sexual. Have you ever encountered any kind of lascivious acts from the audience towards your dancers?
Not so far. You get the odd comment or so, people that make a comment about their name being the Electro Whores, referring to them as whores. The name comes from a song title, and the girls aren't bothered by it, so we haven't had to deal with any assholes yet, but that day if it comes, they'll be taken care of. Because because we won't tolerate that. We won't tolerate people talking negatively about them. They're part of our show and part of our family. And they just are there to look good and get some eye candy and add to the show.
What do you guys tour in while on tour? Do you have a tour bus, vans, or carpool?
Right now we're touring in a Chevy 1-ton van with a 12-foot trailer. It's got plenty of room to accommodate all of us. And all of our gear, luggage, food, everything we need to live in the back. We store extra cots for those warm nights when we sleep outside the van for fun.
Get kicked out of Walmart.
Get kicked out of Walmart. As a 3-piece right now, it's working out just fine. And even when we have a full band and crew with 7-8 people, and it gets a little cramped, but it's still quite comfortable to live in.
These questions go out to Marius, aka VX5. What kind of microphone systems do you prefer when performing?
Generally, throughout the years, I've preferred Shure microphones, but I'd like to switch to Audix to get my namesake, the VX5 microphone. Which is actually a quality microphone. I don't want it just for the name. The company sought me out at the NAMM convention when they saw my stage name was VX5. So they brought me over and introduced me to the president and had me try out their VX5 microphone, which was an incredible microphone. So I'm going to be switching my setup over to those at some point.
Do you find it challenging to wear the attire that you personally wear while performing?
Years ago, yes. Back when I wore the crazy glowing plastic wigs and had to mount them in with all kinds of things to compress my skull so it didn't fall off. But these days, as you can see, it's pretty simple. Pants, button-up shirts, everything's built in to glow live, and it's pretty cut and dry these days. We're getting old, we can't spend 2 hours getting dressed anymore.